Alright, so how does this photosynthesis simulation actually work? So these three things are basically values that are fed into the simulation itself, and based on these values we are going to output some number of bubbles. And a lot of this is actually just drawing the bubbles themselves. So we have some initial values up here. We created a little object that has an X and a Y position on the screen, which is a particular bubble, and we slowly move that up the screen as we go. This is the basic setup for, okay, what color do you have? We're going to change these are actually colors that we're assigning to the filter itself. So red has a red color already assigned to it. You can kind of see that up here. These are red, green, and blue values that are assigned in as colors. We load in the image, and we have some counts for how quickly our simulation is going to run. Once that happens, then we simply go in and start drawing everything that we see. So we draw the light bulb, we have a background, our image gets drawn in, basic rectangles. Here's some of the text that you see. So this, the CO2, light, filters. We have to do some special stuff to get subscripting into the 2. The number of bubbles, and then we're actually calculating this based on how many bubbles are done at the end. We start drawing in the light bulb itself. That's what this is doing here. These are just rectangles and circles that we're using. And then for every one of the bubbles, we simply just redraw them. This also has a countdown timer that's being drawn up here for how many seconds are remaining. And then some of the work happens down here where if we have a particular bubble, it picks a new spot to start in. Gets added basically to a list of bubbles. And then every time you draw one, it adds to the Y position. So it slowly goes up the screen. Technically, actually, Y is 0 at the top, so it's actually subtracting from the Y position, but that's the general idea. We also have a little bit more work that we're doing down here with drawing the light bulb. Now, as far as actually calculating the values inside of the simulation itself, that's where this giant table of stuff comes from. So this was based on a previous simulation, and so we actually had to calculate what the various values would be based on what happens if you have red and you have a particular light value and you have a particular CO2 value. So that's what all of the rest of this is. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what's happening under the hood.